on for a couple minutes. So.
Oh, I might have to edit the last couple seconds off. Okay. Gosh, you have to click and then you have to click again. It's been a while since I haven't streamed it's been a few weeks now. Gosh, I've been busy.
Don't blame me.
I guess that was all right. What do you think, Jenna?
It's still saying live on my end. Did it record appropriately on yours?
I ended the recording.
Okay, because it's still saying live on my end as if you restarted. It's still saying
live, but that's just so that we can see each other, I guess.
No, it should have stopped saying live when you stopped recording, hon.
Should I end the broadcast?
That's what
I have not done this before.
Okay, did it say record while we were talking?
Yeah.
Because if so, it didn't record it and we need to redo it.
Well, okay. So where it says record only is grayed out.
Okay, that means you just clicked record and we haven't recorded yet. It didn't record that last conversation at all then. So we're going to have to redo it.
Well, wait.
Because if you end it now, it's now recording us is what I'm saying. So don't stop it, because if you hit end record or end broadcast.
What did I click on?
I didn't see the live on there on the last part either, so I just noticed it.
No. Sorry. Okay, so let's go ahead and re-record right quick, because I have to step out at 1:00 because I'm modding a chat for Double Down Day for Heart Readings.
Sorry.
No, you're fine, hon. We've got time. Let's make the best of it.
Was it noisy on my end, you guys?
What?
My cat's from the background doing all kinds of stuff.
I didn't really hear anything.
I can switch to a different room if it was too distracting.
Don't even notice it.
I have a different room I can go to. So
my guys are still going are away.
Mine took a nap, so they were being loud, but they're settling into a nap now, so I think we're good. All right.
Mine are not.
Okay.
Well, if they're not and they're being really loud, I can't hear.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to.
Let's go ahead and re-record it right quick, because it's fresh in our heads and not lose it. And this is my last opportunity to record with you. So.
Okay, so I'm gonna click end broadcast, and
if you do that, you'll have to make a whole new room, because it will not let you re-record in this room. So just leave it run, and I will have to edit it for you at this point, Heather. And that's fine. Don't worry. I'll edit it for you. Probably before I leave, I could edit it. Okay? So that's okay.
All right.
Let's just go ahead and roll with it. Show must go on.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Take two.
Okay.
Yes. Take two.
Take two. Was it?
Take two. I'm used to doing it. It's usually take 200 by the time I'm done. So.
That sounds like me.
Bingo.
Attempting to film anything. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Let me do that again. Let me do this timer again, because okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the the AuthorTube Writing Conference panel on writing with freelance editors. This will be a Q&A panel, and with me, I have, to my left here, I have Jenna O'Malley. Below her, we have Jenn, and this is also called Jenn Writes Romance. Please say welcome.
Thank you.
Please welcome her. And then we also have JL Medeiros, and her channel is called Coffee Create Connect. And I'm Heather Dewey Pettit. And my channel is just Heather Dewey Pettit. But we can now go quick into some let's just continue our introductions, and we can talk about ourselves for just a minute here.
Thank you for having us here today, Heather. I'm Jenna O'Malley, your solo writer, author of fantasy with a dash of romance and nerdy references, and I'm one half of the admin team for the AWC, and of course, passing it on right down to Jenn.
Thank you, Heather. Thanks for inviting me. I'm Jennifer Mooney. I'm a freelance writer and a self-published author, and as Heather said, you can find my YouTube channel at Jenn Writes Romance, and off it goes to JL.
Hello. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. My name is JL. I run the Coffee Create Connect channel on YouTube. I do all the artsy things, photographs, dancing, writing, all of that. Come on and visit the channel sometime. I'd love to have you.
Awesome. And so, yes, I'm Heather Dewey Pettit, and I am a writer, editor, and artist. I mostly write fantasy. And I am a freelance editor. I've been working with words, and I thought about this the other day. I have been working with words on in either a volunteer or professional level for 25 years. Oh my. Anyway, so as a freelance editor, I am a line editor, copy editor, and proofreader. And we can maybe also work in a little bit of our backgrounds, maybe. But we will be going into some questions momentarily. If you guys want to work that in when we do our questions, that's fine. Let's see. Okay, so one of the questions we got regarding this panel was about when to do passes when you're editing your work for what's known as SPAG, spelling and grammar. And so Jenna had something to say about that. And then we have a couple other questions we will get to very shortly.
And this is just something we were talking about earlier before we started recording. It boils down to how much do you want to spend on billable hours? I don't mind taking your money, but are you aware of how much money you're spending if you're not doing any revisions beforehand? Mm-hmm. I also kind of go into this with my students as a teacher and as a freelance editor working with a production company. I often notice my hours go up working with that project one-on-one when the person on the other end, the writer, is not willing to do the second half of the writing cycle, basically. So I don't mind taking your money. Time is money. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I
prefer to something. Go ahead, JL. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I do feel the same. Like, obviously you want to put a little bit of like revisions in there. You don't need to drive yourself nuts over every little thing. But like she said, I mean, if you hand over just your kind of like zero draft, like I just brain dumped, here you go. They'll do the work for you, but you're going to pay for that work. So what is your budget? What are you looking to do? For me, I'm trying to keep that like price as low as I can. So I do a lot of the editing myself. These days I feel like with Pro Writing Aid and all these different softwares, you can run it through, clean it up at least a little, save yourself some money, save your editor some time.
At the very least, the cheap version of Grammarly. I would say.
Right.
Grammarly doesn't track your consistent brain defaults as well as Pro Writing Aid, but Grammarly will point out most of them.
Yeah, it will get the basics.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys said. Clean it up a little bit.
It will save you
readable, but don't go crazy.
But so that was about that, about SPAG and zero drafts. Okay, and then another thing we talked about, we wanted to talk about was when editors query an author, and how what your working relationship is like. Let's see. Jenn had something to say about that. And JL did as well.
I've had good and bad experiences with editors.
Mm-hmm.
It is all in their tone, but generally it's very constructive and they're asking for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to hurt your feelings. You might get hurt a little bit. It's kind of part of the process of editing when you're new to it.
Mm-hmm.
But generally it's very constructive.
Yeah, I mean, editors are there. They're trying to do the best they can to make your work the best it can possibly be. But of course, it's understandable as a human being when someone says something you've done could use a little work. It can, can be like, oof, oh, okay. It's not perfect, you mean? Okay.
Right,
but, and I do feel like it's about finding the right editor for you. It's almost like a gym teacher. Do you want that boot camp style drill sergeant editor, or do you want the more soft, let's just breathe in the corrections.
Very good comparison.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's awesome. And then also the one thing about when editors query an author on something, there's the other aspect of that is that we were talking earlier about how what was it? The yeah, I'm just having a brain fart. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Okay. Do we want to go to the next question then?
I think another thing we wanted to talk about was that there was something we were talking about, which had to do with the kinds of editing that there are, and when people ask for editing, well, we need to also clarify what they actually need.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't know what they need, we have to help them along a little bit, right? And if somebody mentioned, I think it was Jenna, talked about when people submit things that need so much work that
higher order thought versus lower order, right?
Right. When you're looking at things in terms of, do they still need structural editing? Because if they still need structural editing, let's not do copy editing yet, because why? Things will get changed anyway.
Yeah. If I'm going to ask you to fix a POV because you head hopped, guilty of doing it as a writer myself, to be fair. Or if I ask you to rewrite a whole chapter, I'm the kind of editor where if I get 3 or 4 paragraphs in and I notice I'm leaving a lot of notes in a few paragraphs, I'm going to stop annotating while reading, read the whole thing, and tell you whether you need to rewrite, because that's more time I'm going to bill you for stuff that's not going to be used.
Right.
So to make it more efficient, I think you need to be aware of how in-depth an edit you need. Also, something else we talked about, I can proofread. Let me know if that's what you need. If that's all you need as a proofread, I'm not going to do any characterization work. None.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my mind, that's not part of proofreading.
Right.
Proofreading is the last thing you do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I think writers forget that.
Yeah, you can spare yourself a lot of time and a lot of frustration if you're just upfront about what do you actually need. And if you don't know, then have a discussion. But I've had it where someone handed me a manuscript. I read it thinking like they're looking for like big picture stuff. And when I mentioned stuff back to them, they were like, oh, well, that was a lot of editing. I didn't need all that. I didn't want to hear about this. I just needed to know overall, do you like it? And is it like, the spelling, the grammar, does it flow? Well, if you had told me that, I could have not spent so much time looking at all these little details, and you wouldn't feel frustrated. I wouldn't feel frustrated. So communication in all aspects, editing and outside of editing, is everything.
And we're not sensitivity readers. I can give you the perspective of someone who is a cis married white woman. That's all I can give you. Don't ask me to do it from someone who's not me. I can give you my opinion, but it might be totally skewed. So know that editors are not sensitivity readers. If you know you have a sensitive topic and you want an editor familiar with that or with your genre or whatever, get to know that before you start paying them.
Agreed.
Yeah, as a writer, I've been on the end where the communication hasn't been great. So
agreed.
You got to have that.
Yes.
And sometimes communication still, you'll be left with like a disappointment. I know when I sent my manuscript to an editor, I was extremely clear about what I wanted. And what I got back was nothing close to that. There was almost nothing done. And I was not happy about it. So sometimes even if you communicate, but usually communication will save you a lot of time, a lot of energy, and possibly a lot of money.
100%.
For sure. Okay. So we have a couple more minutes. Is there anything else anybody wanted to talk about?
Do you all think that being an editor helps your writing, or can you not edit your own stuff?
I think it helps. I really think it helps. At first, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even know there was different types of edits. I just thought, an edit is an edit. Like, you hand it to an editor and they fix everything. And I had no idea. It took me a lot of time to learn these different things. But now I can spot things that before I would have never noticed. Like the word "that." Cut. Like
75% of the time you don't need
I don't get me started on that.
That only just, and there's one more.
Oh, really is when I'm just generally.
Really,
not.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Certain filler words, I'm just like, oh my God, as soon as I see them now, I'm like, filler word, goodbye.
Since I mentioned
filter words too.
Filter words, yeah.
Yes.
How do you feel about adverbs? On occasion, when appropriate?
I don't mind
I find
them.
so many in my own.
Don't mind them.
I don't want them just use better description so you don't need to use tons of adverbs,
And to be fair, sometimes the adverb is the right description to use too.
Absolutely. Sprinkle it in. I don't think that they're oh God, adverbs. But, I don't want to see them literally in every sentence.
Absolutely. Agreed.
As we just have people replying with them. Oh, thank you.
Right. So I think now's a good time to wrap it up. We have less than a minute left. Let's see. What does everybody want to say?
Just like I said, before we kind of recorded, I just want to give a big shout out to anyone who's out there trying. If you're sitting down at that piece of paper, that computer, you're putting your thoughts down, you're at least trying. You are already so far ahead of the game because so many people won't even do that. So hats off and bravo.
Agreed.
And that's regardless of length too. A poem for some people can take as much emotional effort as a full novel.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what their baggage and their background is that they're writing through.
Alrighty. And that is 15 minutes. And then we will go into the live portion for 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes of this session. Thank you so much for coming to our thing.
Yes, our thing.
Our portion of the AuthorTube Writers Conference. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you want to hit end broadcast, I noted the start time when we started re-recording, and I'll tell you how to send it to me, and I can probably edit this. Okay. Start it today and get it to you in plenty time to try and get it up, because don't got much else to do today other than hacking. We're good.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I told you, if you wanted to get back into this, I would help you, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Tell you that.
So. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
All right, ladies, I have to go mod a chat for Little Forest Homes. Hit end broadcast, and it'll take a moment to process.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
One and